Night TV, joined by manager Steve Cunningham after the 2-0 defeat at home at Hurst Cross against Gainsborough Trinity. Gaffer 2-0 on the scorecard, but there was a lot of the ball that we had there.
Yeah, I mean, we did, but we didn't really do much with it. I know we're going to try and put a positive slant on this game, but Gainsborough deserved the result, didn't they? In terms of the best chances of the game fell to them and they took their 2 chances. Russ is a great guy, but I hate him right now. He's just ruined my weekend. And if he'd have walked past me, I probably would have kicked his dog. I'm always joking. RSPCA, I'm always joking. No, listen, Russ and his team are a great group. You could see a team, without sounding too disrespectful here now, a team that aren't really playing for anything in terms of the pressure cooker side of it, because they turned up and they popped us off the park for the first 15 minutes and they could play with a real freedom that you can turn up today and do what they did. They've got a load of travelling supporters. They've got a duty to perform. You know, they've certainly not come here and just tossed it off or anything like that. And if you think that they've got a couple of players missing in terms of Conway and the captain, Cal Gill and the manager, they worked great today. And I'm sure Russ will agree. You know, I think the scoreline probably flatters them in terms of the spectacle of the game, but they were probably the better team, so they deserved the 3 points, and I certainly don't grudge them of that. They've got some great fans who have travelled over. They were giving me a lot of grief towards the back end at the second half, but there's one older guy from Gainsborough, and he gave me some grief when we played him at their place, and he's come and seen me in the clubhouse today and even come by the dugout. Well, it's easy for him to do it when they're winning 1-0 and then 2-0. But what a lovely chap he is, and the fans are brilliant from Gainsborough. I've got a lot of respect for him, and I hope they have a safe journey back. And all joking aside, you know, Russ's team have had a fantastic season when you think the youthfulness of the team and all the cup runs that they've had.
Well, I was going to say that. It's their 54th game today of the season.
But you wouldn't say that based on their energy levels today. You know, I thought they worked the ball really, really well. Their hunger to go and find pockets. But I think that does come with freedom. Look, the reality is we haven't played well today, but you can tell there's a lot of stress on our team at the minute. We're not at full strength. We've been talking about that for weeks, and it's not an excuse. It is a tough time for the club in terms of the players that have been injured. Hardy's only just coming back. Callum Rowe's only just coming back. Newts is playing with a one arm. You know, it is tough, but there's also pressure on us because we're trying to get in them playoffs, and it's like 9 games ago we could have cemented the playoffs with 2 games, 2 wins based on all the results going, but all the pressure that's on us now, it's going to happen, and we're feeling it a little bit, and I feel for the lads because the fans will get frustrated. I've got people like Lee Edmonds in the back, and I know he's a passionate guy, bless him. I know you're going to watch this, Lee, but stop shouting. But they're passionate as we are. But the players are feeling it. It is a tough thing trying to get over the line. It's like a marathon runner. You set off really well. You've got your energy, you know, and then you get halfway through the race, and all of a sudden you start feeling little niggles. Towards the end of the race, you can see the line, but you're starting to see people get a little bit closer to you, and it's a struggle to get over the line. It really is. That's why, you know, it's not easy, this level of football. I'm feeling it. You know, there's no doubt about it. I'm stressed about the situation myself. I'm certainly not enjoying this. And I know the supporters will be disappointed in today, but the players are disappointed as well. But all we can do is chalk this one off as one of them where in 7 days' time, if my mate Robbie Savage, who's done really, really well, by the way,
100 points.
100 points. If he does what he says and wants to break the record for the most points, he will help me out next week. Come on, Robbie, please. We win against my mate Millie because he's safe, hopefully. Millie, please. And we're in the playoffs guaranteed because there's only 2 games left and we could have a 7-point gap. So, you know, let's have a bit of a laugh about the situation as well. Listen, the club hasn't been in the playoffs in 6 years since you know, you got relegated. And I look at the situation at the minute and go, we missed out on the last day last year, which was painful. It feels like we might go that way again. If we do, I'm giving up football. I really am. And that'll be down to you, Russ. But in terms of the situation, it could be all so different next week. We're just going to chalk it off. We're going to have a good weekend. Go and spend time with your families. Go and do what you need to do. Mine will be spent with my kids and digging out my garden tomorrow. And then we'll train well this week. And then we've just got to bounce back and show a bit of character. Because like I said, the season hasn't been defined by the last 2 or 3 games. It's been over 39 games. And at the moment, 38, is it? 38,
39.
39. When you look at that, we're 4 points clear in the playoff line. We've had a bloody good season this year. And now we've just got to relax. Let's not panic. And hopefully that quality will come through next week and it'll be a different weekend altogether.
We've mentioned next week, 2 games in 3 days. Bamber Bridge away on Easter Saturday, Mickle at home on Easter Monday. It sounds harsh to say, but it's 180 minutes that could probably define the season.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 managers are all my best mates. You know, so I'm hoping that they're not going to be getting all their team. But they've all got something to play for. You know, look at Millie. Bamber Bridge are fighting for their lives, and what a fantastic win today against Worksop. Who saw that coming? You know, nobody. So that just, when you're in the situation that we're in, you don't need to see Bamber Bridge beating Worksop because you're thinking, oh, God, you know. But then you don't mind them winning, and then you go and see Matlock win, because otherwise they could have had a safety gap and they can, you know, just relax next week, which they're not going to be able to now because Matlock have had a fantastic win. Look, the reality is, and all joking aside, if we take care of our business next week against Bamber Bridge and play the way that we can, and then turn up against Mickleover and beat them the way that we can, and turn up against Workington away and beat them the way that we can if we're on it, we're in the playoffs guaranteed. Mm-hmm. And it's all in our control. Last year was different. We was waiting on results last year and hoping people would drop points and then we win games and you chase us. We're not the chasers. We're being chased. What we need to do is just keep calm heads and just go back to about 7 games ago when we won 11 out of 13. Yeah. That's how good we actually are and how good we've been over the season. I think someone put a stat out, 8th is the lowest we've been in the league. And that was on the first weekend of the season when we drew against Blythe. Mm-hmm. Other than that, we've been in the top 5 all season. And we've deserved to be there. If you talk about consistency, we deserve to be in the playoffs. But it's not a gimme and it's not a guarantee. So you've now just got to go. We're in a fantastic position. Ilkeston would rather be in our position. Morpeth would rather be in our position. And all the teams below us would rather be in our position. It's now just for us just to, like I say, I keep repeating myself, calm heads, don't panic. I'll panic, by the way, when this interview's done. But then just focus on the game next week. It's in our hands, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not going to be too down. I've not had to go at the players in the dressing room. They know they're feeling it. It's a tough weekend for us. We've been beat by the better team, and we'll just move on.